Sister Wives Tony says Kody Brown and David Woolley are alike. What prompted Sister Wives star Tony Padron to say that Kody Brown and David Woolley were alike? Cristin Brown Woolley is thrilled about her next date with David and is sharing that with her kids. Yet Tony makes a comparison between her new man and her ex, but what is it? Keep reading for more details. Tony says Kody Brown and David Woolley are alike. Kody Brown and Cristin Brown Woolley have been apart since early 2021. That was when she shared she was done with him and the plural family. She then sold her Flagstaff home and opted to take her youngest daughter, Truly, and move to Utah. Her children and family were there, so she wanted to be surrounded by love. As she was preparing to leave, Kody was desperate for her to stay despite their struggles. So he tried to convince her that any man in Utah would take her for all she was worth and she would be left with nothing. Luckily, she met David Woolley and they instantly connected. They left their first date ready for the second. Within a year, they tied the knot in front of over 300 family and friends. Though TLC aired their wedding special at the end of season 18, the current season documents how they met. Currently, Cristin is chatting with her kids about David and how it's been a month but she adores him. Then, Mykelti Brown Padron's husband, Tony Padron, compares him to Kody. However, his reasoning is ridiculous. Tony reasoned that David Woolley and Kody Brown were both boomers. Therefore, that was what made them similar. He noted a lot of what David talked about did not make sense to him, which was very similar to what Kody would say. Now, David is 60, so yes, he is a boomer, but Kody is only 55, so he is not. Therefore, the only things the men have in common are they've been with Cristin, and they confuse Tony. A whole debate ensues over if David is a boomer, and a producer tells Cristin he is, but she just laughs. Viewers are over Tony. After learning Tony Padron's justification, Sister Wives fans were completely over him. They felt that he was annoying and more so, did not like how he got a kick out of knocking down Cristin Brown Woolley's happiness. Tony is so annoying. It's not funny to be irritating for the sake of being irritating. And to say he reminds him of Kody, who treated Cristin like garbage, just to squash Cristin's joy because he thinks it's funny, is very uncool. Tony is such a troll, lol. I was glad to hear Truly's answer about David. Funny and they get along. Tony says anything for attention. He fits right in. Fans also noted how Tony was more like Kody Brown if ever a comparison were to be made. It took a while for Kody to warm up to Tony and vice versa. Then they got along swimmingly, and now that has been shattered. Who knows if they can mend fences? Tony Padron, known to fans of Sister Wives as Mykelti Brown's husband, doesn't usually find himself in the center of attention when it comes to family drama. But recently, he's made waves by sharing a surprising comparison between Kody Brown, the father of his wife, and David Woolley, the fiancé of Kody's ex-wife Cristin. In a world where family dynamics are as tangled as the roots of a giant oak tree, Tony's remarks struck a chord, making viewers wonder just how similar these two men could really be. On the surface, Kody and David seem like polar opposites. Kody Brown, with his long curly hair and larger-than-life personality, has become the face of plural marriage on Sister Wives. Over the years, fans have watched Kody juggle relationships with 4 wives, face internal conflicts, and struggle to maintain harmony within his sprawling family. The cracks in his marriages to Cristin, Mary, Janelle, and Robin have been laid bare for all to see, with Cristin's eventual departure being one of the most talked-about moments in the series. David Woolley, by contrast, entered the Sister Wives world quietly. After Cristin Brown left her marriage to Kody, she found new love in David, a down-to-earth construction company owner. Where Kody is fiery and often dramatic, David is calm, reserved, and private. His relationship with Cristin seems to be built on simplicity, joy, and shared interests. The stark contrast between David's demeanor and Kody's high-octane energy has often led fans to see David as the antithesis of Kody. But Tony Padron, who knows both men, sees a connection that many might have missed. Kody and David, they're more alike than people think, Tony said in a casual but revealing conversation. At first, this statement feels like it doesn't compute, like oil and water mixing. But as Tony explained further, the picture became clearer. Both of them are headstrong and passionate about what they believe. They love deeply, but they also want things their way, and that can sometimes cause problems. Tony's insight comes from being both a family insider and an observer. He's watched Kody as a father-in-law and patriarch of the Brown family for years, but he's also gotten to know David as Christine's new partner. Kody's always been very clear about his role in the family. He's the leader, the one who's supposed to be guiding everything, and he takes that seriously. Sometimes too seriously, Tony explained with a knowing smile. David's the same way. He's not in a plural marriage, but he's very protective of Cristin and what they have. He's got that same kind of intensity about him. It's easy to see how both men, in their own ways, could command a room. Kody, with his boisterous energy and charismatic presence, was once the glue that held the Brown family together. David, though quieter, has a solid and steady nature that draws people in. When David talks, people listen, Tony said. He's got that quiet strength, but don't mistake that for being easygoing. He's very sure of himself and what he wants. One area where Tony thinks Kody and David are particularly similar is in their desire to be the hero of their own stories. Kody has often been portrayed as the savior of his family, the man who took on the challenge of plural marriage and made it work, at least for a time. His vision of a big, united family was his driving force, even if the reality didn't always match up. David, on the other hand, came into Cristin's life after a period of heartache and upheaval. For Cristin, David is the knight in shining armor, the man who rescued her from the emotional exhaustion of her marriage to Kody. They both want to be the one who saves the day, Tony said thoughtfully. Kody wanted to be that for all his wives, but it became too much. David wants to be that for Cristin, and so far, he's done a good job. But that's a lot of pressure on one person, you know. Being someone's everything can be overwhelming, even if you love them. The more Tony talked, the more the similarities between Kody and David came into focus. Both men have strong personalities, and they both care deeply about the women they love. But where Kody's controlling tendencies ultimately drove a wedge between him and Cristin, David seems to offer her the freedom she longed for. Kody wanted things a certain way, and when they didn't go that way, he struggled, Tony said. David, on the other hand, gives Cristin room to breathe. But make no mistake, he still wants to be the one who takes care of her. As Tony reflected on his relationships with both men, he acknowledged that despite their differences, they share an undeniable determination. At the end of the day, Kody and David both want to be seen as strong men who take care of their families. They both have this drive to be the rock. Kody's way of doing that was through leading a plural family, and David's doing it by being everything Cristin needs now. Fans have often compared the two, but hearing Tony's take adds a new layer to the conversation. Both Kody and David have their strengths and flaws, and in many ways, they're shaped by the women they love. Cristin has found happiness with David, and while Kody has faced heartache, he too remains committed to his vision of family, even if it's changed over time. As the sister-wives saga continues to unfold, it's clear that the dynamics within the Brown family and beyond are more complex than they seem. Tony's comments remind us that even in a family full of big personalities and deep-rooted conflict, there's always more to the story than meets the eye. Whether it's Kody's larger-than-life leadership style or David's quiet strength, both men have played a pivotal role in shaping Cristin's journey, and, in some ways, their own lives mirror each other more than anyone might have imagined.